What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. I cover political news, and like I always talk about, folks, we have a communist arm in the Democrat Party. And yes, we do, as a matter of fact. It's called the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. These people are communists, right? They'll get out there and claim, oh, no, we're socialists. That's totally different. No. Socialism always leads to communism. Every single time. Yeah, that's how it is. Now, we also know that the Chinese Communist Party is a threat. And they are trying to spread their ideology around the whole world. Just like we do with democracy, folks. We go and try to ship democracy. That's one of our exports, by the way. We export democracy to the Middle East constantly. So to think that the Chinese Communist Party would not try to export their communism to the United States is insane. They have spies all over the place. As a matter of fact, that is what we're talking about today. Get this, folks. This is crazy. Ex-Hochul aide arrested, accused of being an agent of China. That is right. Somebody who was the deputy chief of staff for Kathy Hochul, the New York governor, for crying out loud, was a Chinese spy. Allegedly a Chinese spy. Allegedly. She was arrested for it, for sure. But this is just outright insane. We have Chinese spies working in the government. As a matter of fact, Eric Swalwell slept with a Chinese spy when he was working in, I think it was San Francisco. My memory could be wrong on that one. I'm not sure. Y'all let me know down in the comments section, but let's get into it. A former New York State government official who worked for both governors Andrew Cuomo and Kathy Hochul was arrested Tuesday after being charged with acting as an agent of the Chinese government. Linda Sun, who worked for the government from 2012 to 2023 and eventually became Hochul's deputy chief of staff, was arrested alongside her husband, Chris Hu, and their $3.6 million Long Island home, the Associated Press reported. Wow, that's crazy. So both her and her husband were, that's nuts, y'all. So this was a spy family, if you will. In an indictment filed in the Eastern District of New York and released Tuesday, prosecutors said Sun acted as an undisclosed agent of the government of the People's Republic of China and the Chinese Communist Party. Wow, Sun and Hu both pled not guilty Tuesday afternoon, a spokesperson for the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York told The Hill. Sun was to be released on a $1.5 million bond and Hu on a $500,000 bond. What? They're releasing these people on bond. That's insane to me, right? Like, leave it to the Democrats to go ahead and just release these people. They're accused of being Chinese spies. Don't you think we have a vested interest in keeping these people remanded to the custody of the prison system? Don't you think that's a good idea? You don't think they might try to flee the freaking country? Go back to China? Once again, man, Democrats are just crazy. Wait, hang on, y'all. It's illegal to be a Chinese spy, so nobody's going to do it. That's how they think. That's what they do, because that's what they're doing around our elections. I just covered that on the last video in case you want to go see that one. Go check it out. Ken Paxton is a shining star right now. He is really railing against Texas, against Democrats in Texas who are trying to, well, you know, if you saw the video. The indictment alleges Sun engaged in numerous political activities in China's interest, including blocking representatives of the Taiwanese government from having access to the governor's office, changing New York governmental messaging around issues of importance to China, and obtaining governor's office proclamations for China without proper authorization, among others. In return for these and other actions, the defendant Linda Sun received substantial economic and other benefits from the Chinese government, including millions of dollars for her husband's Chinese transactions, travel benefits, event tickets, promotion of a close friend's business, promotion of a close friend's business, family employment, and a Chinese government official's personal chef who prepared Nanjing-style salted ducks, according to the indictment. Wow, this is crazy. So they were getting busy, folks. Of course, when they were there for 11 freaking years in the governor's office as the chief deputy of staff. Wow, those people work their way up from the bottom, huh? Chinese Communist Party. don't mind hard work. Hey, that's admirable. But guess what? You communists. Son and her husband laundered the money to buy their $3.6 million home in New York, a $1.9 million condo in Hawaii, and various luxury automobiles. She never disclosed the benefits she received to the New York government, which, as a government employee, she was required to do, the indictment said. So now you got some more charges coming, lady. Wow. Neither Cuomo nor Hochul was named in the sprawling indictment. Good for them. Hopefully, they had no idea this was going on. Hopefully. But that's also kind of scary when you think about it, because we could have Chinese spies all over the damn place, and we don't know about it. A spokesperson for Hochul's office said Sun was hired by the executive chamber more than a decade ago. Yeah, 11 years. We terminated her employment in March 2023 after discovering evidence of misconduct. Immediately reported her actions to law enforcement and have assisted law enforcement throughout this process, Hochul's office said. U.S. Attorney Breon Peace said Sun and her husband worked to further the interests of the Chinese government and the CCP, the AP reported. Wow. This is insane, y'all. The illicit scheme enriched the defendant's family to the tune of millions of dollars, Peace said. So, that's nuts. That's outright crazy. They were spying for 10 years, allegedly, right? We'll go ahead and throw that out there, allegedly, because nothing has been proven yet. But, folks, these people come in, and once again, this open border garbage is part of the problem here, right? We have thousands upon thousands of Chinese nationals coming across our southern border, which is insane. That means they have to fly from China to the Western Hemisphere somewhere and then transport themselves to the United States. That's a crazy journey. That's just a crazy journey. And, it's Chinese propaganda. That's probably what they were here for. Chinese propaganda to promote communism, folks. We know that we got a lot of communists out there. As a matter of fact, the sitting vice president, as a matter of fact, has been promoting communist policies. Yes, we covered those on the channel. It's just insane. These people want to destroy this country. Talking about the Chinese government. They want America to fall, so they can be the lone superpower, if you will. Yeah, they would love nothing more than the United States to buckle under its own weight. Under the weight that is coming from within our own country. Of people, all this infighting we got going on, all this political division is crazy. It's just outright insane. But, since we were talking about Andrew Cuomo, let's talk about this, because I almost covered this story, but I saw this other one, and I was like, no, I got to cover this Chinese spy garbage. But I'm going to bring you guys this anyway, because this is interesting. And it's just a quick summary of the article, because, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of blah, 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 a lot of bluster and blunder going on in the article. So we'll give you a quick summary to see what's going on. Check this out, y'all. Andrew Cuomo to testify in House COVID-19 panel hearing on nursing home policy. Now, as we know, Governor Cuomo has been lambasted against. They just railed against this guy because a lot of elderly people died in nursing homes during COVID, and it was pretty much his fault for okaying the move for some of these people to go from hospitals back to the nursing homes, right? And I get the logic there. I totally get the logic, right? You don't want to overrun your hospitals, and these nursing homes have nurses on staff that can care for these people. I get it. But do you really think that's a good idea with COVID? Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was a dumb idea, but we'll see what he has to say. Let's read through this summary right quick. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo will testify voluntarily in a House hearing on September 10th regarding nursing home policies during the COVID-19 pandemic, as announced by Chair Brad Winstrup. Winstrup stated Cuomo owes answers to the 15,000 families who lost loved ones in New York's nursing homes, emphasizing the need for accountability. Cuomo's administration issued a controversial order allowing nursing homes to remit COVID-19 positive patients, which aimed to prevent hospital overcrowding. That is right. And he got a lot of blowback. There's a lot of people that outright claim that Andrew Cuomo is directly at fault for these deaths. I don't know if I'll go that far because, once again, these people that sit on the top of these administrations, right, they have advisors. And they ultimately make the decision. I get it. But when you have advisors, right, he's not a doctor. He doesn't really know. We didn't know a lot about COVID at the time. We knew it was highly transmissible. But, once again, I would argue that would be a good reason not to okay this. But at the same time, if you have advisors saying, no, it'll be okay, they have nursing staff, blah, 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 it might be okay. We don't want to overcrowd the hospitals. He's got a lot of different things to think about. This is why we need immunity for people like this, for administrations, people that sit as the governor, the president of the United States. They have to make tough decisions. And this is why I don't get the argument why the left was up in arms over the presidential immunity ruling that the Supreme Court found that Donald Trump, as a matter of fact, all presidents have immunity for official acts. Stuff like this. Yes, stuff like that. Tough decision ends up being a terrible decision. A lot of people end up getting hurt. A lot of people end up dying. Right? But it's a tough decision. It's a decision that had to be made. Do you keep these people in the hospitals and possibly have overcrowding in these hospitals and some people don't get treatment? Or do you send these people back? It's just a tough decision. I'm not sure where to fall on this one. Sure, he is to blame for this. But, once again, immunity, I think, is a good call in this case. Should he be criminally investigated? I think they should look into it. Honestly, do your investigation. Check it all out. See what's going on. Because if he was just thought about it like willy-nilly, yeah, screw it. Just send these people back with, blatant disregard for their safety, then yeah, we might need to think about pressing some kind of criminal charges. But if it was a tough decision, if he was genuine about that decision, it was like, his staffers, his advisors actually told him, look, they got nursing staff, blah, 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 blah. Go ahead and do it. And he was like, okay, let's do it. Then, that's a whole nother thing. That's a totally different issue. It all depends on the motivation of the person. Right? Motivation is key for a lot of decisions like this. I mean, that's why we're constantly trying to find out motives of people that go do these mass shootings and all this other garbage. They want to find out a motive. Like Thomas Matthew Crooks with the Trump assassination attempt. They still want a motive. They want a manifesto. Right? We kind of don't need a motive in that case. We know what his motive was. He was Trump deranged. Simple as that. Case closed. But, they still want a motive. Like I almost covered, but because so many other people are covering it, the Covenant Catholic shooting with that trans person that went up and shot 3 9-year-olds and 3 teachers. The manifesto was released today. I almost covered that story, but because so many other people were covering it, I'm like, yeah, they can do a better job than I can. There's other news to get into, so let's get into it. But it's like that manifesto, go read it if you haven't read it. It's insane. That's such a tragic story, right? I know a lot of people got bent out of shape over that one because some of those people were holding up the 7 fingers, talking about, the 6 people that died and her, the girl, which a man, whatever the hell she was, because it was a she. It wasn't a... But... that's such a tragic story. What would lead somebody to do that? That's what you got to think. Like, this person, if you go read some of this manifesto, you start to feel bad for her. Start to feel really bad. Right? Like, there's no excuse by any means, of course. No excuse whatsoever. But, it makes you kind of feel for this person. And that's a genuine problem in this country. Right? We've got this fad of all this trans ideology garbage, right? They're trying to push this stuff on our kids. Oh, if you want to come out the closet, you want to be a trans student, go right ahead. And kids are doing this just to do it. They don't really have the dysphoria that this issue This is a very serious issue. I'll put it that way. And people are treating it like it's some kind of fashion statement or something like that. No, it's not a fashion statement, and we should be discouraging this, right? Because the recidivism rates, I was arguing with somebody in the comments the other day. He was talking about, oh, well, we need to stay up to date with science and all this about my video about Minnesota banning Christian teachers. Yeah. As a matter of fact, yeah, that's crazy. But he was arguing, yeah, we need to stay up to date with all the new science, right? That's not science. That's not biology. That's all in their freaking head. That's all a fad because they see a TikTok, somebody coming out as trans, then they want to do it. It's a fashion statement is what it is, and it needs to be discouraged, especially in children, because you're putting them into a box that has a very high suicidal rate. Very high suicidal rate. And I don't understand these people that would want to place their kids into that box. Right? Especially since the recidivism rate is like 90%. There's been several studies, by the way, 90%. Some percentages were like 70, 75%, but most of them were 85 to 90%. That means if you do nothing, they go back to being normal kids. They stop with all this trans garbage. It's damaging our young people in a very bad way. Mentally, and you end up with somebody running into a school with a gun, and we can't have that, folks. That's what this gender ideology garbage is pushing on everybody. That shooting exemplifies the gender ideology garbage that is going on right now with all these people trying to affirm delusions and all that stuff. I'm sorry, most of these people don't have gender dysphoria. Now, I feel bad for people that do. I really do, because that's a dilemma. People that actually have the dysphoria. I don't know how to fix that. A surgery might not fix it. We've seen studies that show that people still feel bad. They still are in that box with a very high suicidal rate. So it's not the actual dysphoria that's the problem here. It's something in their mind. It's not the gender question. And that's what these people, and this is why it's so dangerous, because these people keep pushing this garbage on our kids. And it's not good. It's not healthy. But I've gotten way off topic. I think that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. Comment on anything. It don't matter. Y'all let me know what y'all think. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. Y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.